All right, we're going to be starting here in Nigeria on the Daily Independent newspapers. I'll share with you what it says here. Hope rises as reps broker peace between federal government and ASUU. Union to meet Accountant General on choice of payment system. Bajabaya Miller to transmit report of meeting to Buhari in days. That's on page 29. Northwest governors, Niger's Maradi region want a ban on boxer motorcycles. And I'm guessing that's because of security challenges also. That's on page 7. Buhari asks political actors to shun personal attacks and incitement. Wants judiciary to maintain position of an honest arbiter on page 6. Also, Supreme Court affirms Governor-elect Adeleke as PDP Osun Governor gubernatorial candidate. I beg your pardon. PDP NWC members return 122.4 million naira bribe to help fight Wike and allies. Onyola, Mwazu, Shema, Yedioa, and many others lead Atiku's campaign in zones. No bribe was given. It's housing allowance, says the PDP. And also, fifth columnist infiltrate APC as Adamo denies letter to Tinubu. Well, those are the stories that we can share on the Daily Independent.
All right, now let's still stay in this Nigeria. Looking at the front page, the big story says 2023, you have to be impartial. Buhari charges judges to maintain transparency in pre-post-election matters. Commissions benches ultra-modern edifice. The details of that on page 4. And we can see Atiku Obi, others sign peace pact. Tinubu's deputy Shetima stands in. We'll be talking about this much later during the show. NDLEA cautions on use of drugs during campaigns. PDP, I beg your pardon, 6 NWC members refund over 100 million naira after unaccounted 10 billion naira mess. Money meant for house rents, not bribe party. I can't wait for us to still talk about this much later during the show. And the final story this morning, Naira free fall continues. Now exchanges at 737 naira to the dollar. On page 15. That's not exciting news, but that's all that we can take in Nigeria. Let's head over to South Africa.
All right, on the Sowetan this morning, let's see what we can find here. Rape claim rocks BMF. Former intern demands 5 million rand for alleged unfair dismissal and open sexual assault complaint against organization's president. Also, Andile Nomlala asks why complainant made accusation 16 months after alleged incident. That's on page 2. Also, on the Sowetan this morning, hope springs eternal. Nathi digs deeper into creative space. Stung senseless at the tails. Basic food prices up 14%. You can read more of that on page 9. And just one more story. The pyramid in Limpopo, where the gods ate. That's on page 19 on the Sowetan this morning.
All right, now let's head over to Uganda, where we're looking at the Daily Monitor. On the front page of the Daily Monitor, Parliament elects EALA legislators. We can see their faces there. There's about 9 of them on the front page. There are 9 photographs here. What will it cost to bury president MPs? Proposal. The draft policy now before cabinet awaiting approval is aimed to, among others, harmonize rules and laws on state and official burials and streamline coordination, financing and eligibility criteria. Stories on page 4 and 5. And we have, I think the only other story, there's one at the top. Students join protest over EU motion on oil pipeline. The details on page 3. And the final story here is at the bottom of the paper, the front page. How Ebola suspects escaped from isolation centers on page 3. And here's cheaper local cooking oil. We've been talking about the Ebola outbreak in Uganda, and unfortunately, whilst they've shared some of the would I say victories or successes in fighting the Ebola in Uganda, it is scary to actually be reported that suspects have escaped from isolation centers. Is Uganda ready for the Sudan strain? Are they ready for the challenges? And what is the impact around Africa as well as the world? These are some of the questions that we should be asking. And we will, of course, be answering them here on Breakfast Central.